Hey friends, welcome back to the Aligned Lifestylist. I'm Corey and I'm so happy that you're here. If you're new, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. If you are new, this is where we talk a lot about mystical, magical things, healing alternatively, different mind, body, physical health. I love to bring new practitioners on. Next week, I have a great practitioner you're going to love to meet. And today I'm coming on just a little bit late. I normally release podcasts on Monday, and I decided that I'm going to release them a little later in the week. But I have really been thinking a lot of what I want to talk about. So hopefully it doesn't sound too discombobulated because with the energy in the world right now, if you've been feeling really chaotic and like you just aren't really clear, you're worried about the future, there's a lot of uncertainty. I want you to know that you're not alone. And right now we're just about to go into an eclipse and a lunar eclipse for the full moon on Friday. And when you understand and you start learning about these different shifts in the energy, it really helps to understand this is why I feel the way that I feel. And then you take in your own astrology, your own human design, and you start to go, oh, okay, I'm not cuckoo crazy. I'm not, maybe I am a little cuckoo crazy, but I'm feeling all of this because it's the energy in the world and it's my energy aligning with that energy. And so over the last few days, I have really felt a lot of uncertainty, and I've had a lot of friends and colleagues that I've had discussions with that were feeling the same thing. Like, oh, we just like we're having this feeling of I need to know what the future hold. I need to know what's next, and we're questioning what we're doing and what we've been doing, and like people who are really talented and really helping a lot of people and need their light in this world are questioning, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Why am I feeling all of this discombobulation? And as I've sat with my own mess over the last few days and even had like a big explosion of all the things that I haven't been saying and all of the things I've been feeling and not processing, I realized that not only are we not alone, but this is an upgrade. This is when we start to feel this extremeness, it's our body trying to get more knowledge and really like integrate that knowledge, and it's a lot. So we're receiving knowledge all the time, and sometimes we're not even aware of it. And that's why it's really important we be careful what we listen to and what we watch, because you're receiving uploads of just either negative codes or positive codes, right? And so there is always going to be duality. It doesn't mean that you can never watch something scary or never watch, something that intrigues you, but it's important that we balance out the dark with the light and really have the light always be bigger. And so I'm going to challenge you as you're listening to this and as you're processing your own things lately, where are you drowning out your light consciously? Like, are you not shining your light? Like, if you have something to share, a message to share, where are you shying away from that? Or who's causing you or making you feel like you shouldn't be doing that? Because questioning is part of the process. Like, really questioning what we're doing really makes us dig deep and go, is this what I want to do? Is this really my purpose? Like, do I have a soul level feeling of this is what I want to do? And so, oftentimes when we question where we're at, it's just part of the process of going, oh, well, you're in the right place. The timing's just not right. Like, right? We don't know what has to align perfectly for the things to work out the way that we want them to. And again, like I'll always say, we don't understand, we don't see the bigger picture. We don't understand the higher power or God's timing. And it's really just a trust fall of, okay, if I believe the core feelings that, like, I have core beliefs that I have, and if I believe those, I have to stick to them. But the problem is we get so inundated by information from the outside world, and the external world is bombarding us, and we've been taught and conditioned to seek for answers externally. And what's happening collectively right now is our souls are saying the answers are in here. So if you've been drawn to tarot cards, oracle cards, psychics, energy work, spiritual meaning, all of the things that we're seeing a lot of in the world right now. If you're drawn to that, that's your soul saying, let me find something that validates that you can kind of see on a more physical level and you can feel the validation. But what my purpose continues to evolve into is helping you understand how to listen to the inner guide. Because as the world evolves and the AI evolves, and you've got all of this content out there that you don't know if it was created by AI, if it's the real person, like I feel like we're questioning everything at a conscious level right now. And so although these outside external people that are true healers that can help us are true knowledge carriers that are here to bring that new age forward, they're here to validate things or to bring forward things that our soul knows, but that our physical body has blocked, like our mind is keeping us away from that. But it's really important that we get really in touch with our inner guide, with our intuition, and what's correct for us so we don't get deceived. It's going to be really important for all of us to understand how to differentiate what is truth from, true or false, and what is correct for us. And so I pulled a card today, and the card is about purpose. And I didn't read the details of it, but we all have a purpose, and I think we're being really pushed into our purpose. And so if we're questioning what we thought was our purpose, it may just be meaning, okay, it's time to shift it a little bit, or maybe look at a new perspective or expand it in a way that we weren't really aware of that we could expand it. If you're new to a lot of this work and you're just trying to discover your purpose, there's things that you can do to really dig deep and go, okay, why am I here? I think we all at some point in our lives start to question, why the heck am I here? And what am I supposed to be doing? Because daily life and the conditioning that we live in is very monotonous. And so what I noticed is when I get in this energy of chaos, I can't focus. And then I start to question, what should I be doing? And what I end up doing is spinning my wheels and not really doing anything. And so yesterday I had a really big release. And this morning I woke up and I thought, okay, I know that I'm disconnected from nature, that I haven't been spending as much time in nature as I normally do. And I also know that when we get stuck in the cycle of having an exact plan for our day, and we don't let the magical and the mystical and the synchronicities show themselves to us, we are missing out on so much. This morning I got up and I went on a walk and had some conversation with some good friends over voice text, and came home and just got out into my flowers, deadheaded some flowers, watered, picked some vegetables out of my garden. And it's crazy to me how much that will connect us and make us just feel so much better. And it gives us clarity. Like you've probably heard me say, if you've listened before or watched before, the clarity comes in the quiet moments. And so learning what works for you to shut your voice or the voice in your head down and to really get into your body, those are the things that you need to tap into so that you can get more and more clarity. And so today, I was questioning, what am I doing? Like, because I tend to like change what I'm doing a lot, or I'll tweak it a lot. And that's part of my manifesting generator type energy. But then that makes me go back into my old programming sometimes, thinking, well, why, what are you doing? But when I get back into my truthful energy and I remember who I am and what I'm here for, I just understand that, okay, there's something that the universe is trying to show me. There's something new that I need to learn. And so whenever you bump up against a wall, you're having a hardship, you're feeling stuck, you're feeling unclear, get quiet, and so that you can start to listen and let your spirit guides, or however you connect to your inner self or your higher power, the messages are there. We just it's getting quiet and going, okay, what is this trying to show me? What is this trying to remind me of? And the reminders that I got this week was just, I'm getting back in my head. I'm starting to let the external affect me, and I'm starting to worry about things that I don't have control over, and I'm starting to go back sometimes into the past and having sadness or regrets about things. And So all that my lesson is right now is to get back into the present. And I've talked a lot about how time just seems to be going so fast, and a lot of people are feeling that. And my personal insight on that is that the time is going so fast because it's trying to help us clarify what's really important. And so, because if time becomes compressed and we don't have as much, quote, time in the day, there's really linear time is just a made up thing, right? So we have all the time. Like I get really caught up in the, oh my gosh, it's noon and I haven't done da 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 yet, or it's 8 o'clock and it's going to be bedtime, and I get caught up in that linear time. And I've noticed that the more I can get out of that and realize that I have as much time as I need, and if I trust my intuition and I really stay connected with my purpose, the things that are important and imperative that I get done will get done. And I had an epiphany thanks to one of my good friends this morning. So, if you've been watching, I've been remodeling my office. So, this is the side that's done. The side over there on the other side is not done yet. And so, I've been like in this weird conundrum with this wall. So, it's going to be a fun surprise for all of us what this wall ends up being. But I've had all these different ideas and had inputs from other people of what the wall should be like. And it's kind of like a parallel to my life. Like right now, in the last little while of my life, I've just felt really maybe a little bit insecure and discombobulated and not focused and not completing things that I know I need to complete. And so when we get in that space, even as a manifesting generator, we're not supposed to complete everything, but there are some things we are supposed to complete. And we get really unfocused, we can't complete that, right? So if you're a generator, you have this life force energy to get things done, the same as a manifesting generator, but you need a plan. We're a manifesting generator. It's easier for us to fly by the seat of our pants. We like to be really spontaneous. We're a generator, you have a lot of things you want to get done, but you need a bit of a plan. It gives you security to have like a more structured plan. And somebody like me is going to go bonkers if my plan is too structured. So when you start to understand those things about yourself, it helps you kind of push away the things that are coming up that aren't correct for you, right? When you start to recognize, oh, I don't need like this structured plan, but I'm trying to fit into that mold and it's not working. So I'm hitting a block and I'm feeling really unfocused. So back to the office, my cute friend today pointed out to me that, maybe this not being able to complete your office or putting it off or sabotaging finishing it is like a mirror into what's happening in my life right now. And when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true. Like there's things that I'm just all over the place with, and there's things I'm excited with that I haven't completed, and there's things that I need to trust that they're just going to work out because I know it's what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I want to inspire you to be okay with where you are right now and stop trying to, we've just been so conditioned to have it all together, to have it figured out, to have all these goals and to be making things happen and to be successful. And success is only what it is to you. It's not what it is to everybody else. And that's part of the problem, is that we're constantly striving for this level of success that the external world has shown us. But if you go deep inside, you can look and understand, where do I feel at peace? What is success to me? Does success to me feel like having my evenings free? Does it feel like having good relationships in my family and in my social life? Does success feel like just living comfortably and not chasing the dollar and be feeling the need to have all of the things? What does success mean to you? And so when I look at my life, I think, gosh, most of what I really, really want, I have. But when I let that external conditioning come in and I start comparing myself to other people, I brought this up in something I was doing the other day. So I don't know that it was, I think it was on the podcast I'm putting out next week, but I was listening to something and they said that the number one thing that people that are very successful, that are billionaires, that have all the money, that have all the what you would think you would want, the number one thing they struggled with is confidence, like self-confidence, imposter syndrome, and comparison to others. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if people that have what the world tells us is everything are still having that, A, that makes me feel better, right? But it also makes me think, gosh, our that what I was just saying about success, that's individual to everybody. Like we all didn't come here to chase this dream, this I'm quoting American dream, right? Some of us literally have that in our human design to have a lot of money, to have success and fame and fortune. And some of us don't have that. And but we've all been conditioned to fit in this box of this is what it looks like. And if you're successful, this is what it'll look like. But it's crazy to me how many people I know who have that success, but yet they don't have the relationships, or they have all the money, but they're just completely unhappy, or they have addictions. And so there's no perfect path. There's only your perfect path. And that path is an experiment. So whether you're working on your physical health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, you have to trust the experiment. You have to be like, you know what? That felt good. That didn't. That worked. That didn't. And you have to be okay with that because that's really what you're here to do. Some of you are actually here to experiment more than others. So, in your journey to finding why you're here and what your purpose is and getting out of the chaos and into the clarity, I'm going to caution you about what's happening in the world with knowledge right now because there's so much out there that that's what's causing the discombobulation. Like, I don't get on social media a lot anymore, but there's a lot of interesting stuff out there. So I'll get on and I'll start listening to something and I'll find that it either upsets my nervous system, it makes me want to rabbit hole into something that might upset my nervous system. Sometimes it's really helpful, but it's the thing that I see is that we're all being so confused and that it's taking us away from going inside. And so I'm going to challenge you to get quiet. I'll always challenge you to find a way to get quiet. Try having a day without getting on social media or watching the news. Try having a weekend where you don't have to do all the things and be busy, where maybe you just get a really good book and read it, or you go down a rabbit hole of something you wanted to learn, or you take a class, or you spend most of the day outside. Find something that is really going to help you calm down so that you can start to listen. And I'm going to encourage you to tap into a couple of the offerings that I have. Tonight, if you're watching this on Monday, the 26th, tonight I have a class called Your Body is the Oracle. And it's going to teach you how your nervous system is being regulated by the way that you use your own energetics, and that most of us are not using our own innate energetics. We're not making decisions correctly because we haven't been taught how to listen to our body. And so, what happens with your nervous system is, an animal's nervous system, let's say a deer runs out and is almost going to get hit by a car. Their nervous system ramps up enough for them to run really fast. And then you'll see that deer run. And once it gets out of the situation, it'll go to the meadow or wherever it is and it'll just start eating grass. And it will just be like, oh, forgot all about that, right? Our bodies don't do that. And so what happens is that from the minute that we are literally in the womb and all through our childhood, all through our teenage years, all through our adulthood, we're having these experiences that upset our nervous system because no one taught us how to regulate nervous system, and also we weren't taught to how to listen to our inner guide. And so what happens over time is the body becomes inflamed because the nervous system is constantly overacting. What happens also is because when the nervous system is in fight or flight, then the digestive system shuts down, which is why we have tons of bloating, tons of digestive issues, constipation, is that the literal blood vessels in your gut and intestines get constricted so that blood flow can go to the places in your body where you would need to, if you were really going to have to run. And so this then begins to affect our brain and it affects our musculoskeletal system. And so when you start thinking about the way that I feel from an emotional standpoint and a nervous system standpoint is affecting my body, it's why people suddenly have health crashes. It's why, somebody completely healthy that's running marathons and doing, a lot of really healthy things, eating perfectly, can all of a sudden just have a heart attack because our nervous system is not being treated. And so my goal is to teach you how to regulate your nervous system from a standpoint of learning your human design and listening to your own body's cues of, is that a yes for me? Is that a no for me? Is that something that I should put my energy in? Is my body telling me that I'm tired? Why is my body tired? Am I using my energy incorrectly and that's why I'm tired? Why am I not sleeping? Why am I feeling like I can't focus? Like, so all of these things come down to what's happening with our own personal energetics, and those are going to affect your epigenetics, which is where I bring hair analysis in, because you can change your epigenetics. Your genetics, we've been conditioned our whole lives, taught that here's your genes. You came from this gene pool. They have diabetes. They have a history of heart disease. So you're probably going to get some of that. So it's because it's in your genetics doesn't mean it's there, but it's not going to get triggered unless you do things that trigger that to manifest in your body. So meaning, if you have lots of nervous system dysregulation, if you're not taking care of your body physically, if you have addictions, if you have a lot of inflammation going on in your body because of what you're eating. So understanding your energetics and your epigenetics together combined can help you understand, oh my gosh, I can change anything. Anything's possible for you to change. So as we dive into these classes, I'm going to have a class every single month. I'm going to keep the cost really low so that you have no excuses to not be in it. If you're part of my Align community, you can attend the class for free. So even if it's kind of a repeat, it's always different because it ends up, it's just different every time I teach the class. But it's really good to have repetitive of these classes because the basics are what you really need to learn about your human design, because it takes time to integrate those. So if you've already been to a human design class, this is a great way for a refresher. And if you're new to it, it's going to teach you the basics. And I'm going to talk tonight a lot about nervous system regulation. If you can't come tonight, it will be posted in my paid community, the Align community. You can watch it later if you decide to join that. The Align community, we're going to continue to stack on top of that. We're going to go deeper into the things that will help you. We're going to have options for you to have scans, hair analysis that you take on your own and mail in. And I'm going to teach you how to integrate that into your daily health practices. We're going to have guest practitioners come on that teach you. I'll have therapists and I'll have energy workers and people that can teach you actual skills that you can use in your life. Because my goal, and a goal of a lot of the practitioners I work with, is to get you in a place where you know how to do these things on your own. You don't need to reach out or run somewhere or have an appointment in order to self-regulate, in order to get answers for yourself. So I'm excited for what's coming up. Our Align community starts next Tuesday on September 1st. You can go to the alignlifestylist.com and register for that. You can find any upcoming events. The next Human Design, Your Body is the Oracle class will be September 17th, which is a Thursday. It will be virtual also, same as tonight's, at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. But I'm going to encourage you, I'm going to give you a little tough love right now, because a lot of you are sitting out there and your part of it is that chaos that you're feeling. You don't know what decision to make. Part of it is that maybe you're tapping into too many things and you're not getting like a really you're not getting direct healing or help because you're trying too many things and you're not integrating them. So again, back to what I want to teach you is how to learn how to know that for yourself, right? So I'm not here to do the work on you. I'm here to teach you how to use it in your life. And so what's happening is, so in my healing journey, I went to multiple different healers and each of them helped me with one aspect of what I needed to learn, but I wasn't going to them back to back to back to back. And I wasn't getting over. I lucked out and I was going to different people that tapped into the same problem, but they weren't giving me opposite advice. And I think what's happening is that if you're visiting a lot of people, and it's why I'm creating a group of practitioners that we are speaking to one another. Because think about it, if you're specialists in Western medicine, we're actually speaking to each other, you'd probably have expedited results, right? So my goal is to speak If I send you to somebody, I'm going to be telling that person, this is what I'm integrating with them. Please don't change that. Don't add to that. Just enhance what we're doing with their skills and their gifts. So if you're feeling really discombobulated, here's where the tough love comes in. I want you to stop. I want you to just stop. It's like sometimes I tell my clients, just get off of all your supplements. You're giving your body too much. It can't handle it. It doesn't know what to do with all the crud that you're putting in it. Some of it's not even good. So I'll have them stop everything for a minute so the body can clear itself out. So if you're just like if you're getting on Instagram and you're following all these reels and they're all interesting to you, that's okay. But I want you to stop for a minute and I want you to get quiet and I want you to think, what do I really need to know? What's going to help me right this second? What would be the best thing? I'll tell you, getting your nervous system calmed down and learning how to make decisions that are true to who you are and not what everyone else thinks are the two things that I think are the most important. So then you can move on to the people that can help you work on that. But you've gotta commit to something. And believe me, I am the queen of non-commitment. Like I stopped doing my nails because I don't want to commit to a nail appointment every few weeks. I've let my hair roots grow out because I'm like, oh, the upkeep is just a lot. And I've just been going through that and it's okay. Will I do that forever? I don't know. I might come back to all of what I was doing, but who knows? But right now it feels good to just not have all the appointments. So what I want you to do is choose something. So if this class for tonight or next month resonates, if the Align community resonates, if you need some help knowing where to go, schedule an Align session with me where we're one-on-one and I can help you dial in on, do you need to focus on relationships? Do you need to focus on your social life? Do you need to focus on your career? Like, what is really the most off-center thing in your life right now? And if you're really struggling with that, that's what we do in Align sessions. But if you need a tip on who else you can go to, I am not here to say that I have the solutions for everything, but I have a lot of people in my life that I love to send my clients to because I know that they can help them in a way that I can't. But I'm going to just say to you, pick something, stop all the madness, stop the chaos. You know, I was doing I've been so getting into the moon cycles and astrology and all of the things which I love, and that's actually in my human design to just deep dive on things. But I started feeling this pressure like, oh my gosh, it's the new moon. Oh my gosh, it's the full moon. I need to do my ritual. I need to do this. And that was creating pressure. And so I had to kind of back off of that and just go, I can do that without all of the hoopla that I normally do. I enjoy doing that. But there are some days when the full moon comes and I'm like, haven't even thought about that. And now it's 8 o'clock at night. I'm not going to stress out about that. But what I can do is consciously be like, here's the things that I'm going to bring in or let go or whatever that moon cycle is, right? So my point in all of that is that if you're feeling the discombobulation, if you're a manifesting generator or you're a one and you've got your hands in everything, one meaning your one profile in your human design, we sometimes we have to like back up and take a second and just go, okay, I need to just refocus. Sometimes that's just getting out of all of it for a minute. But I just want you to pick something, choose something, whatever you've run across that's resonated. Just say, you know what, I'm going to focus on this one thing for a couple of weeks and I'm not going to get sidetracked because that's what's happening is we're just getting sidetracked. We find something that truly resonates with our spirit and then squirrel, oh my gosh, there's that and there's that. You have plenty of time to learn and deep dive into all of it. You've got to get centered on one thing and then build upon that one thing. So I hope that was helpful. This eclipse energy, the lunar eclipse that's coming up on Friday, I've watched a lot of things about that, and just because of how I've been feeling, and that's part of that feeling of just like I want to freaking flip out, right? I was watching one by Sonia Choquette today. She's somebody that I've read several of her books. I love her. She's a psychic. She's got great information. And she just said there was an old saying that said, take to your bed. And if you're feeling like you're about to like lose it and you're going to flip out on people or you're going to say things you shouldn't say, just go be alone. Just go take to your bed, be by yourself, let your body rest, Let your mind process and your body process all of the things that you're feeling, because this is just a temporary state. You're not here forever, but sometimes it feels like forever. And I want you to remember that every hard thing that you've been through, you got through it, right? You're still here, you made it through it. And we're getting better and better at doing that. And the more you can tap into your human design, to that innate operating manual that you have, the more that you'll start to filter out the things that don't belong, and you'll have less stress, and you'll just make better decisions. So you don't have so many of those things in life where you're like, how did I get myself into this? So let's get to the card. Um, this one is called The Power of Purpose. It's from the Oracle of the Seven Energies. I'll put the link in for that in the show notes if you want to get that. It's one of my favorites. And here's the card, and it's like a cog. It's the wheel, the cog wheel thing. I don't know what you call it, but it's got a spiral in the middle of it. Oh, it's got a bullseye in the middle of it, and an arrow, and it's got fire, kind of dragon and fire, and all kinds of fun things. That's why I love these cards, because you can just intuitively go, what's the message that I need? So if you can see that, if you're watching live on Substack or on YouTube, and you can see that card, it's hard to zoom in without it getting blurry. But if you can look at that card, maybe you'll get your own kind of message from it. Let's see what it says. The key concepts of the power of purpose are individuation, seeing your unique place in the world, a clear sense of authentic purpose, healthy self-esteem, letting go of conditioning, celebrating your uniqueness to be you. There comes a time when you realize that you are destined for something that is yours and yours alone. The catalyst might be an experience with a special person, a path you chose, or something you feel called to do. You'll discover it's not necessarily what you thought it would be, and has nothing to do with what everyone else wants or seems to want. An uncanny conviction takes hold from somewhere deep and true. You feel a sense of power arising from the true sense of self, accompanied by the need for action, a commitment to explore something, or a purposeful choice. Right now, you're invited to step into a new empowered sense of authentic purpose, bolstered by a healthy dose of self-esteem. You're called to release your old conditioning. There's no need to be self-conscious or act a certain way to please others, which can sometimes take you in a direction that you don't want to go anyway. The discipline and will to evolve are yours by nature. This process doesn't have to be your struggle. You cannot fail if you immerse yourself fully in what is in front of you right now. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. You never have to seek your purpose or wonder what it is. Just keep moving the blocks to your essential self, and your purpose will find you. It's that easy. What a wonderful thing to know. So I love that so, so much. This, you can't see it because it's kind of blurry behind me, but the wall hanging behind me says, "Darling, everything is as it should be." And I bought that when I was getting divorced, after my divorce, and I moved in on my own and got my own place for the first time. And I was just going through all this question and fear, and did I make the right decision, and what's next, and how scary to be on my own and have to financially support myself, and I was in a new job and all these things, and I saw that, and it's one of those things that I just was like, I have to buy that. I have to look at that message every single day. And it was in my bedroom, hanging by my nightstand, so I would see it every night before I go to bed, so that I wouldn't question my decisions, because at a core level, I knew that what I was doing was correct. But it's scary. And when you're in a scary place, you need a reminder. So just remember, wherever you are right now, even if you're off path, it's where you should be, because you're learning something that's going to get you to where you need to be. You have a divine purpose. Many of us are feeling that right now, to discover that purpose, to find what it is. And you might just be somebody that just needs to be here to hold the space and bring the light, because the more light there is, the less dark there is. And in a world that's trying to enforce darkness like crazy, I mean, you look at um, some people think it's a conspiracy theory, but the cloud seeding, when you walk out on a day when they've been putting all the stripes in the sky, you can see how it blocks out the sun. And there's just a lot of literal darkness that's being pushed in front of us, and there's a lot of energetic darkness that's being pushed in front of us. And this not knowing what's true or false, this is why it's so important and imperative right now that you learn to listen to your inner guide and you connect to your higher power, whatever you believe that is, because you're going to need it. Your children are going to need it. Please start teaching your children how to listen to their inner guide. Um, but you have a purpose. And my ultimate goal is to help you dive deep and to find not only your human design, your operating manual, but to really help you align with what is next for you and what you're here to do. And in the Align community, we're going to have every single week, we're going to have some serious activities that are going to put you on path. I'm going to teach you what I've learned, what I'm still learning, like I'm learning some new things right now to help you create that vision and get your body and your mind in a space that's aligned with that so that you can get yourself there. And we're all in this together. Nobody's exactly where they want to be. And so the more we can work in community and find like-minded people that share the same wants and needs and vision, the faster we can start to get clarity and make these things happen. So thank you for being here. I would love for you to comment. Tell me what you feel like your purpose is. Tell me what you're working towards. Share with the community, because the more you share your light, and the more you share your things and put out into the world. It's scary to get on video. It's scary to have your face on TV, like podcasting, or if you're creating videos on social media, it's out there and it's out there for good now, right? But getting it out there gets it outside of you. So if you've got some goals and some things that you just need accountability for, sometimes just putting it out there and saying, this is what I'm working on, and then getting other people to come in and say, good for you, that's so awesome. Oh, I'm doing the same thing. We've gotten into this place where and I'm guilty of it, where we just want to shrink and we're like, I don't want to be around people. I don't trust anybody. And we've got to get out of that. And I'm working on it myself. And a lot of stuff has come up to make me see my part in that. And so just trust that wherever you are right now is where you should be. And if you're listening to this, I hope you get something from it. I hope that you were here because something that I said will resonate with you and it'll help you to take a step forward. So have a beautiful week. Hopefully I'll see you tonight or in next month's class, or hopefully I'll see you in the Align community starting on Tuesday. We'll be meeting at noon Mountain Standard Time. You can go to the alignlifestylist.com, go to Align community in the upper bar, and you'll be able to see more details about that and how to register for that. So have a great day. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your time, and I love y'all, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.